Are you drinking a glass of milk every morning because you believe it is good for your bones, good for aging, and good for your overall health? But if you are over 50 and your doctor has ever mentioned high creatinine, weak kidneys, swollen feet, frequent urination at night, tiredness, or blood pressure that is hard to control, then that innocent glass of milk may be something you need to take a closer look at today. The problem is not simply that you are drinking milk. The real problem is whether the type of milk you are choosing is truly right for your kidneys. Regular cow's milk can contain a significant amount of phosphorus, potassium, and animal protein. For a young, healthy person, that may not be a major concern. But for an older adult, when kidney filtering function has already started to decline, each glass of milk can quietly add more work for the kidneys day after day. And the scary part is this: you may not feel it right away. There may be no pain, no clear warning sign, nothing obvious. Then one day, a blood test shows that your creatinine has gone up. Your doctor starts telling you to cut back on certain foods, and suddenly you wonder, could something I drink every single day be making things harder for my kidneys? The good news is you do not necessarily have to give up milk completely. You just need to choose the right kind. In this video, I will show you the top 3 kidney-friendly milks older adults may want to consider. These choices may help reduce the daily burden on the kidneys and may support better creatinine control when combined with the right diet and proper medical guidance. Before we get into the list, I want to make one thing very clear. No milk is a cure for kidney disease, and no glass of milk can lower creatinine overnight. But for older adults, sometimes one small change in a daily habit can help take a lot of pressure off the kidneys over time. As many older Americans like to say, better safe than sorry. So, if you are dealing with kidney concerns, if you are watching your creatinine, potassium, phosphorus, or if your doctor has told you to pay closer attention to your diet, then choosing the right milk is no longer a small detail. A glass of milk every morning may seem harmless, but if you choose the wrong one, it can be like asking an old filter to work another shift every single day. Now, let us begin with the first one. Number 3, unsweetened cashew milk. When people hear cashew milk, many of them pause for a second. Cashews? Can someone with weak kidneys really drink milk made from nuts? That is a fair question. But what matters most is not just where the milk comes from. What matters is what is inside that glass. How much phosphorus does it have? How much potassium? How much sodium? How much protein? For someone with kidney concerns, these are the numbers that matter. Regular cow's milk can contain a fairly high amount of phosphorus. Phosphorus is a mineral that a healthy kidney can usually manage. But when the kidneys are weak, extra phosphorus can build up in the blood. This can disturb the body's mineral balance. It can affect the bones, the blood vessels, and it can force the kidneys to work harder than they should. Unsweetened cashew milk, on the other hand, is usually much lower in phosphorus than cow's milk. And because it comes from a plant source, the natural phosphorus in it is often less easily absorbed than the phosphorus from animal-based dairy or industrial additives. Think of it this way. If cow's milk is like a heavy bag your kidneys have to carry up the stairs, unsweetened cashew milk is more like a much lighter bag. The kidneys still have work to do, but the pressure may be lower. The next thing to look at is potassium. For people with chronic kidney disease, potassium is not something to ignore. When the kidneys cannot filter well, potassium can build up in the blood. And when potassium gets too high, it does not just make a person feel tired or weak, it can also affect the heartbeat. A glass of cow's milk can contain a much higher amount of potassium. Unsweetened cashew milk is often lower in potassium, which may make it easier to manage for many people who are following a kidney-conscious diet. Then there is sodium. High sodium makes the body hold on to fluid. That extra fluid can lead to swollen feet, higher blood pressure, heaviness in the body, and general discomfort. And high blood pressure is one of the factors that can make kidney function decline even faster. That is why people with kidney concerns are often told to cut back on salt. But it is not just the salt you add to food. You also have to pay attention to drinks, packaged foods, canned foods, and processed items. Unsweetened cashew milk, if you choose the right kind, is often fairly low in sodium. That may make it a gentler option for many older adults. There is one more thing worth mentioning: the type of fat in cashew milk. Cashew milk may contain monounsaturated fats, similar to the healthy fats found in olive oil. This may be better for heart health than getting too much saturated fat from whole cow's milk. And for someone with weak kidneys, the heart and kidneys are like two old friends living in the same house. When one struggles, the other feels it too. Healthier blood vessels, steadier blood pressure, and better circulation can all support the kidneys in the long run. Unsweetened cashew milk is also usually low in protein. For some people with kidney disease who are not on dialysis yet and who have been told by their doctor to control protein intake, this can be helpful. When the body breaks down protein, it produces waste that the kidneys have to filter. So when you drink a lower protein milk, you are not using up part of your daily protein allowance on something that may not be the best source of protein for you. But this is the most important part. Not every carton of cashew milk is good for the kidneys. Many companies add extra nutrients to make the nutrition label look better. They may add calcium phosphate, tricalcium phosphate, dipotassium phosphate, or other ingredients that contain the word phosphate. For a healthy person, added calcium may sound like a good thing, but for someone with weak kidneys, phosphate additives can be a problem because the body may absorb them very strongly. And when that happens, a milk that looks kidney-friendly on the front of the carton may not be kidney-friendly at all. So before you buy it, do one simple thing. Turn the carton around and read the ingredient list. Do not just look at the front. The front always looks good. Healthy, plant-based, calcium-rich, no sugar. It all sounds attractive, but the truth is usually on the back in the ingredient list. Look for unsweetened cashew milk with no added phosphate. The simpler the ingredient list, the better. And even if you choose the right kind, do not overdo it. For older adults, especially those with kidney concerns, even healthy foods need moderation. 1 cup a day may be reasonable for many people, but if your lab numbers are abnormal, it is best to ask your doctor or a renal dietitian first. And if you think cashew milk is already gentle on the kidneys, the next one may surprise you even more. Number 2. Unsweetened rice milk. Rice milk is something many people do not think about. When people talk about replacing cow's milk, they usually think of oat milk, almond milk, or soy milk first. But for someone who is worried about kidney health, unsweetened rice milk is a very important option to consider. The reason is simple. Rice milk is often very light when it comes to minerals. People with weak kidneys need to pay close attention to 3 things: phosphorus, potassium, and sodium. You can think of them as the 3 numbers to watch. When the kidneys are healthy, they are like a careful gatekeeper. They filter and balance what is in the blood. But as we age and kidney function declines, that gatekeeper may not be as fast or as strong as before. If you keep bringing in too many minerals that are hard to process, the kidneys have to work harder. Unsweetened rice milk is often lower in phosphorus than cow's milk, and the natural phosphorus from plant sources is usually not absorbed as strongly as phosphorus from dairy or from food additives. This matters a lot. When phosphorus builds up in the blood, the body may start pulling calcium from the bones to restore balance. Over time, that can weaken the bones and may also affect the blood vessels. For older adults, that is something nobody wants. A person who is 65 or 70 is not only worried about the kidneys, they are also worried about falling. They are worried about fragile bones. They are worried about the heart. They are worried about blood pressure. Everything in the body is connected, so reducing the phosphorus burden can be a small step with real meaning. When it comes to potassium, rice milk is also often much lower than cow's milk. You can picture it like this. If each glass of cow's milk is a large bill your kidneys have to pay, rice milk is more like a smaller bill. It is not nothing, but it may be easier to handle. For someone at risk of high potassium, this is worth paying attention to because potassium is not something you always feel right away. Some people only find out through a blood test. And if potassium rises too high, it can affect the heart. That is why doctors often talk carefully about bananas, oranges, potatoes, tomatoes, coconut water, and daily beverages when guiding people with kidney concerns. Sodium in unsweetened rice milk is also usually low if you choose the right product. This may support blood pressure control and help reduce fluid retention. For someone who often has swollen feet, heavy legs, a puffy face in the morning, or sock marks around the ankles by the evening, reducing sodium in small daily choices can make a difference over time. Another point is protein. Rice milk is usually very low in protein. This may be helpful for some people with kidney disease who are not on dialysis yet and who need to manage their protein intake under medical guidance. When protein is broken down in the body, it creates waste, such as urea. The kidneys are responsible for filtering that waste. Put simply, weak kidneys are like an old coffee filter that has been used for many years. If you keep pouring too many grounds into it, it may still work, but it will work more slowly. It will strain more. It may clog more easily. Choosing a lower protein drink may help reduce some of that extra waste the kidneys need to handle. However, rice milk also comes with something to watch out for. Many rice milk products sold in stores contain added sugar, flavorings, or added minerals. If you choose one with added sugar, it may not be good for blood sugar, especially for someone with diabetes. And diabetes is one of the leading causes of kidney function decline. So the rule is simple. Choose unsweetened rice milk. Choose one with no added phosphate. Avoid products that are heavily fortified with extra minerals. Again, read the label. If you see words like phosphate, calcium phosphate, tricalcium phosphate, or dipotassium phosphate, consider putting it back on the shelf. Do not let the front of the carton fool you. Older Americans have a saying, read the fine print. That means pay attention to the small words. When it comes to kidney health, those small words may be the most important part. And if you are still watching right now, comment the number 2 below. You do not have to write anything long, just the number 2. That tells me you are still here, and it also helps this video reach more older adults who are worried about their kidneys but may not know where to begin. Now let us move to the final one, and this may be the most interesting choice in the list today. Number 1, unsweetened flax milk. Cashew milk and rice milk are helpful because they may reduce the burden on the kidneys. They are often lower in phosphorus, potassium, sodium, and protein. But flax milk has something a little different. It is not only light on the kidneys, it may also support the body in another way. It may help support inflammation control and blood vessel health. For older adults, especially those with chronic kidney disease, silent inflammation is a real concern. The kidneys do not always decline because of one big hit. Sometimes they weaken slowly, like a wall that has been taking in water for years, a little bit each day. No one notices it at first, then one day the cracks appear. Flax milk contains alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. Omega-3 fatty acids are often mentioned when people talk about heart health, inflammation, and overall wellness. For someone with weak kidneys, supporting lower inflammation throughout the body may be an advantage. Of course, this does not mean flax milk cures kidney disease. It does not. But when it is part of an overall lifestyle that includes eating less salt, managing blood sugar, managing blood pressure, taking medication properly, keeping medical appointments, and choosing the right foods, it may be worth considering. When it comes to phosphorus, unsweetened flax milk is often very low as long as it is not fortified with phosphate additives. This is very important for someone who needs to control phosphorus in the blood. When it comes to potassium, flax milk is also often much lower than cow's milk. Some products may be extremely low in potassium depending on the brand. That can give people who need to limit potassium another easier choice in daily life. When it comes to sodium, Unsweetened flax milk is also usually quite low if you choose a simple product, which makes it more aligned with the goal of reducing blood pressure strain and fluid retention. And here is something many people may like. Flax milk is often nearly cholesterol-free, low in calories, and very low in protein. For someone who is in the stage before dialysis and has been told to reduce protein, this can be helpful. But I need to say something very important. If you are already on dialysis, your protein needs may be different. People on dialysis often need more protein to make up for what is lost during treatment. So do not cut back on protein or change your diet just because you heard in a video that low protein is better for the kidneys. For people on dialysis, everything should be guided by a doctor or a renal dietitian. For people who are not on dialysis yet, who are watching creatinine, or who have early to moderate kidney disease, choosing drinks that are lower in phosphorus, potassium, and sodium may be a wise step. But just like the first two milks, flax milk has one big trap: phosphate additives. Many companies add tricalcium phosphate to increase the calcium content and make the label look better. A shopper sees calcium rich and thinks it must be good for the bones. But for weak kidneys, this may be something to avoid. So remember this simple rule: no sugar, no phosphate. The shorter the ingredient list, the better. If you pick up a carton and the ingredient list looks as long as a grocery receipt with too many strange words you cannot pronounce, it may be better to put it down and look for another option. Kidney health does not need flashy choices. It needs simple, steady, and appropriate choices. So now we have 3 milks older adults with kidney concerns may want to consider. Number 3, unsweetened cashew milk. It may be gentler than cow's milk. It is often lower in phosphorus and potassium. And if you choose the right one, it may provide fats that are better for heart health. Number 2, unsweetened rice milk. It is simple, easy to drink, and often very light in minerals. It may be helpful for people who need to reduce the burden of phosphorus, potassium, and sodium. Number 1, unsweetened flax milk. It is not only light on the kidneys, it also contains alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that may support inflammation control and blood vessel health. But the most important thing these 3 choices have in common is this: you must choose the right kind. Do not choose the kind with added sugar. Do not choose the kind with added phosphate. Do not choose it just because the front says healthy. Turn it around, read the back, look at the ingredients, choose the simplest option you can find. Because sometimes what helps the kidneys feel less burdened is not a huge life change. It is not an extreme diet. It may be something as simple as replacing the milk you drink every morning with a more suitable choice. 1 glass each morning, 1 small decision repeated over weeks and months. For a young person, that may not seem like much, but for someone over 50, when the kidneys are no longer as strong as they used to be, small choices like this can matter. And remember this: if your creatinine is rising, if your doctor has ever told you that you may have signs of weak kidneys, or if you are watching your potassium, phosphorus, blood pressure, or blood sugar, do not ignore what you drink every day. You do not need to panic. You just need to start paying closer attention. As the old saying goes, prevention is always easier than treatment. If this part was helpful, save this list of 3 milks, and the next time you go to the grocery store, try one simple thing. Pick up the carton, turn it around, and read the ingredient list before you put it in your cart. Now you know 3 milks that older adults with kidney concerns may want to consider more carefully. Unsweetened cashew milk may be gentler on the kidneys, lower in potassium, and may offer fats that are better for heart health if you choose the right kind. Unsweetened rice milk is simple, easy to drink, and often lighter in phosphorus, potassium, and sodium. And unsweetened flax milk is not only light on the kidneys, It also contains plant-based omega-3 fatty acids that may support inflammation control and blood vessel health. But what I want you to remember most is not just the names of these three milks. The most important thing is this: do not keep drinking out of habit without checking in with your body. When we are younger, we can often be more relaxed with food. A glass of this, a salty meal here and there, a high-protein meal once in a while, and the body may still handle it. But after 50, especially when creatinine starts to rise, blood pressure becomes harder to control, feet start swelling, nighttime urination becomes more frequent, or the doctor says the kidneys need to be watched. Every small choice begins to matter. A glass of milk every morning may sound very ordinary, but if you repeat it every day, month after month, year after year, it is no longer a small thing. Older Americans often say this: small hinges swing big doors. With kidney health, that is also true. You do not need to change your whole life overnight. You just need to begin with small things. Choose the right milk. Eat a little less salt. Read labels more carefully. Drink fluids according to your doctor's guidance, and do not force yourself to drink too much. And do not skip your regular lab tests. Before you leave this video, I want to give you a simple eating plan for the next 7 days. Nothing complicated, nothing extreme, just a few gentle steps to help you begin taking better care of your kidneys. Tomorrow morning, instead of automatically pouring a glass of cow's milk like you usually do, try doing something different. Pick up the carton and read the back. If you see words like phosphate, calcium phosphate, tricalcium phosphate, or dipotassium phosphate, consider choosing something else. Over the next 7 days, if your doctor has not given you specific restrictions, you may try choosing one of the 3 unsweetened milks we talked about today: unsweetened cashew milk, unsweetened rice milk, or unsweetened flax milk. Use a moderate amount. Do not overdo it, and pay attention to how your body responds. For breakfast, keep it simple. A glass of milk that is more suitable for your kidneys, along with a light meal that is lower in salt and lower in sugar. Do not turn breakfast into a feast of pastries, sausage, bacon, or packaged foods. Those foods may taste good, but they often contain a lot of sodium. And sodium is one of the things that can make blood pressure, swelling, and kidney strain harder to control. At lunch, look at your plate. If half of your plate is filled with vegetables that fit your diet, 1 small part is a simple starch, and 1 moderate portion is protein based on your doctor's guidance, then you are already moving in a better direction than eating without thinking. At dinner, try to keep it a little lighter. Do not make your kidneys work a heavy night shift. Limit very salty foods, thick sauces, processed foods, and meals that make you feel thirsty all night. If you feel heavy after dinner, if you become very thirsty, if you notice more swelling, or if your blood pressure rises, your body may be trying to tell you something. During this week, do one more small thing. Write down how you feel. Did your feet swell today? Did you feel more tired? Did you urinate more at night? Was your blood pressure steady? Did your blood sugar change? You do not need to write a lot. Just a few lines a day is enough, because caring for your kidneys is not about guessing. It is about observing, adjusting, and working with your doctor. I also want to say this very clearly. What I share in this video is not a replacement for medical advice. If you have kidney disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, if you take medication, if you are on dialysis, or if your doctor has told you that your creatinine, estimated glomerular filtration rate, potassium, or phosphorus needs to be monitored, please talk to your doctor or a renal dietitian before changing your diet. Everybody is different. One type of milk may be suitable for one person, but not for another. One food may be safe at one stage, but may need to be limited at another stage. So the wise thing is not to follow everything blindly. The wise thing is to understand your body better, ask better questions, and get professional guidance when you need it. But wherever you are on your health journey, remember this: getting older does not mean you have to become weaker. Your body has been with you for decades. It has carried you through work, family, illness, stress, loss, and many difficult days. Now what it needs is not fear. What it needs is kinder care. One more suitable glass of milk, one meal with less salt, one label read more carefully, one medical appointment not missed, one small decision that is kinder to your kidneys. That is all. But if you do it consistently, one day at a time, it can make a difference. If this video helped you understand how to choose milk for weak kidneys, please hit the like button. That tells me this topic is truly helpful for you. If you have a parent, a spouse, a sibling, or an older friend who is worried about creatinine, weak kidneys, high blood pressure, or diabetes, please share this video with them. This may be the reminder they need before their next trip to the grocery store. And if you want more simple, practical, easy to follow food guidance for older adults, subscribe to Senior Food Coach. Now remember this: you do not need to change everything in one day. You only need to begin with one better choice than yesterday. I wish you a peaceful, healthy day, and I hope you feel a little kinder toward your own body today. And as always, take a deep breath.